Hello, Retail Rebel friends, family, and customers. This is our Retail Rebel virtual town hall. For many of you, you know that we've started these at Retail Rebel. Boy, it's been about a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago. And we started doing the virtual town halls. It's something we did in the Southeast with Buggy Busters when we merged Buggy Busters and Retail Rebel to form one company. We've really been kind of taking the best of what each does and putting it together. So at the virtual town hall, hello Karina, please feel free to use the chat just like our friend has here, and feel free to post any comments or questions or experiences. I can tell you, in the years that I've done these virtual town halls, I can tell you there's only been one time that I remember that there was ever anyone who kind of came on here and was trolling and saying some rude stuff. Every other time, it's been an incredible way for us to really kind of connect and share news of things that we're doing, things that we're changing, some big upcoming sales and things that are going on. Let you guys just in on the business and what we're doing, and then read the reviews. You guys know that we're very transparent on the good, the bad, and the ugly, right? So we're going to go through it all. A lot of feedback. We had, we had over 1,000 responses totaled in the handful of days that we asked for feedback, and awesome. Just that is like so amazing. I know that it takes a little time to put that out there. But honestly, I'm going to read a bunch of them, and they're very thoughtful responses. And I promise you that we read these. There's 1,000 responses, but we read them. We get them out to our teams as training, as feedback, and so very, very helpful. All right, there, pieces some of the stuff. Okay, man, we're starting off strong. Here we go. Let's see. Leslie says some of the stuff isn't totally there, all the pieces. Okay, so I can tell you there's two. This is part of one of our big announcements, is that we have, if you're starting to shop our retail auctions, I'm assuming, Leslie, it's the retail auctions that you're talking about. We have a brand new account that we are getting a lot of really nice furniture and home goods and some really nice brand name stuff. And we are doing quality inspections, but we've got to do a better job. I definitely know that it's new, and so we're looking at that. But definitely want to check it out. That's one of the news things, is that we are loading up our retail auctions. They have been growing very fast. Check out your Retail Rebel stores. So Dalton is already big. Like they've got plenty of space to expand. Omaha, I think we just did a little bit of expansion effort there. Council Bluffs is going to take just a minute. It's where the auction is in there is a little bit compact, and it's going to take a little bit more planning to make more space. But we are pushing a lot more volume to Omaha. So if they're about 30 minutes apart, so you probably, if you shop one, you probably shop the other. And then Audubon, I think we're doubling the size of the auction there. And KCK, I'm going to KCK tomorrow. I wish I could have made it tonight. I really wanted to. KCK is we just finished building out and expanding the retail auctions there. Claycomo is a whole nother announcement, but we're expanding there. And I think Olathe as well, it went through a little expansion. I'm not 100% sure on that. And then Belton, we're holding off right now, but we're looking at bringing that forward to add more space to add into our retail auctions. So really big. Like we are literally sending, in many of these stores, 4 or 5 truckloads a week of product. That is a lot of product. And this stuff on the retail auctions, that's we've started kind of dialing it in a little bit. We're getting a really interesting product mix that should be a lot of fun to shop. And the feedback has been very, very positive. Now, I do know, to Leslie's point, there we are seeing on this new account, we've got to do just a little bit harder inspection on some of the big furniture pieces that we're getting in. So if you're on here, bear with us. It is a great program. I won some outdoor lights. I'm really excited about. Missy, I'll talk about that in just a second. But yeah, take a second, inspect, just make sure that it's exactly as you were hoping. We are going to try to do a little tighter quality inspection on that stuff as well. Let's see. Yeah, so Gemi says that I would just like that the small stuff weren't missing so often when I pick them up from auction. Seems like people are stealing them before I get a chance to pick them up. It happens often. We do find, I think one of the challenges with the hard item or with the small items is that sometimes you get so many of them in a box, and we've seen this. Like people will move stuff from one box to another so they can sort through it a little easier, which just makes it a problem for people. We need to we definitely need to be looking at that, and trying to find a better way of dealing with that. Oh boy, I'm going to start going through because there's a lot of really important things. One person said we can't download the app on Android phones. I was actually warned about that about 30 minutes before this call, before this virtual town hall. So we are changing out our app. It's in progress. We're working on it, but we've got to figure out exactly what's going on. I know that that's just the auction. So it's two things. It's the scanning at the outlets, which we have 4 of them. But that's starting to be discontinued, and then in the auction, in the Liberty auction, we use that app. So we're gonna have to figure out how to get that app, in a place where it can be downloaded. So, but I do know where we're placing it. I just have to find out what's happening there. Again, I found out on Android phones, the Retail Rebel app is not in the App Store or isn't being downloaded. I literally found out about 30 minutes before, so we're gonna look at that. Karina says that the product in bins suffering. The big items promised not there. Great, we see that in auction, but the bins, please. So we are doing a big push on the bins. In fact, so there's 2 things. Number one, a big sale this weekend. We call it our 3-day savings feast. We are doing a restock on a 1 o'clock restock on Saturday, a 1 o'clock restock on Sunday, and a 1 o'clock restock on Monday in the bins. So we are pushing tons and tons and tons of product out there. And I literally just got video of we've got a new supplier on bins that we're pushing out here. I'm hoping we can get some of it out this weekend. It's a little bit tight, but I know that we've been putting lots of different programs in. We are really looking to get, especially for those Saturdays and Sundays, a really solid mix in there. And so it's something, Karina, I promise you, we are very, very actively looking at that. And we've tried a number of different programs in a number of different stores. And so we are very active on that one. But I will say that this weekend is going to be just an absolute wild time. There's $1,000 in prizes, 18 prizes per store. Customers can get to pick and choose which prize. And so we're really doing quite a bit to make those bins just a lot of fun. But we're very, very actively trying different programs. So I would love to get feedback from you guys on the bins this weekend, how the experience is, how much fun you guys had with it, or not. Let us know, because it makes it's important feedback for us. And then over the next few weeks, I would love to hear what you guys find and if it's how it is. Let's see, Steven, I hope that is your real beard. I love that, is epic. He writes, I'm by the auction list in Nebraska, the Omaha one, as well as Council Bluffs, Iowa. Is really good, organized, on top of everything. I have something that's not there. Omaha, on the other hand, is unorganized, and they're getting a little better. But time to time, the stuff that's missing today, I went to pick up a cast iron muffin pan, and it was broken 2 pieces. It was listed that way. You can clearly see if they knew that it was broke and they listed it because it's broken 2 pieces and put in the package that way. They could clearly see that. So yes, so 2 things. Number one is we track refunds. We sell between 70 to 80,000 pieces in our auctions every week. Obviously, if it's broken, we're selling more pieces. No, I'm kidding. Inappropriate joke. I'm sorry. No, we sell about 70,000 lots every single week, 80,000 lots every single week, and we inspect it at the warehouse. And certain programs, we have to make sure that we're doing more inspection on them. That's we also know, in order to inspect every single piece in as much detail as it would take, sometimes it's just not possible with as much product as we're pushing out. I suspect it's very likely by the end of the year we're going to be closing in on 100,000 pieces a week, because we are growing our auctions a lot. So we will. I would say that when you're getting 70 to 80% off, on average, 1 out of every 10 items is returned, and we track that very, very close. Now on the new program, I'm going back to our processing team. We have a specific team that's processing it. Amazing stuff. I love it. It's a ton of furniture and home goods. I think it's great. Our returns are up a lot. They're up, almost 17-18%. And so we need to do a better job of inspecting those at the distribution center. So if you're getting some home goods or furniture, just make sure you're doing an inspection when you go to pick up. We're going to do our part to do a better job inspecting. We don't catch everything. I feel like if we can keep that around 10%, most customers buy over 4 items every auction. And if you're buying 10 items, statistically, one of them is going to be returned with Buggy Buster or with Retail Rebel. And so we feel like customers can live with that. But when it starts getting up to 2 items every 10, 3 items, and obviously some folks, if there's a specific type, there are categories where there's more broken items than the average, and we should do probably a deeper dive in inspecting those a little closer. But on average, it's 1 out of every 10 items. Let's see. Your CFO promised me 6 months ago the product would be better. The product prices, while appreciated, used to be items we would always find in the bins. So let's take what you're saying on that, Marty. I will say that during COVID, it was wild. I've been in this industry, honestly, 30 years. It was an accident. I took a job at a company out west that, if many of you in the Kansas City area know Cargo Largo, I was working at a company that was the other half of that contract. And I ended up staying there for like 20 years and worked with different trucking companies, and then started working with Amazon and working with Target, and moved, and I've been in this industry for 30 years. The short of it is COVID was wild, and that's when bin rooms really started taking off, and you would find tons of really expensive items. I can tell you, Marty, if you're going in and you're walking out with $3,000 worth of laptops and iPhones, and you're picking it up for $100, I can tell you that the company that you're doing that with on a consistent basis is closing their doors. There's not a ton of bin rooms that are doing that and able to stay in business, because the cost of those loads is going up a lot, and so liquidation companies, in order to be profitable, have to be more diligent. Now, you will find laptops or new electronics in a retail Rebel bin. I know that because I see the manifests. We get unmanifested stuff, which we'll push out to the bins, and we also get manifested, which means there's a giant list, and we'll have loads that have 30,000 pieces on them. And in those 30,000 pieces, there's at least 100 items that are worth $100 or more, including laptops and cell phones. It's not worth our time to go and pick and find those things and pull them out. So I know that every week in our bins, there are many hundreds of dollar items that are selling every single week. And we look at it as that's a good thing for our customers. Now, what you're talking about, Marty, there was absolutely a concentration of that during COVID, and companies like Amazon got way better at pulling that stuff out and putting it in their warehouse deals or whatever other options they were doing. But we are very actively testing out various programs and trying different things to make sure that there's great value on your Saturday and Sunday shopping. And that's what we're trying to do with the bins is make it so anyone who goes there on a Saturday or Sunday are able to find an item that they're getting for 70, 80, 90% off on that first day. And there's definitely that type of product in there should be in all of our bins. We're looking for that, but certainly not always. And when there's not, we see it. We see it in sales. Sales reflect that. When we have a really good Saturday, Sunday program, we see that too. And sales go up, meaning people are finding lots of really great things. Let's see. Packages, not the items. Go ahead and sanitize them. Let's see. I just got a Traeger grill from auction, picked up last Friday. It don't work. The Traeger, warehouse auction. So that's likely where we've been getting tons of Traeger grills in different things. We push all of those things. We don't test them. We don't really know. So we've just been pushing directly into the warehouse auctions. I don't know what they're going for. I haven't tracked that real close. Oftentimes I know that they're trying to put, one or two Traeger grills on the same thing just to help increase the odds in the warehouse auctions. But yeah, the warehouse auctions is just different beast. But I know that we've been absolutely plowing tons and tons of product into there. We had a few really big deals come across, and we've been pushing as much out there as possible. In fact, I actually have a little Traeger grill that I got from It was from Retail Rebel, but it was a retail auction one, and I love it. It works. So I know that we've had some that work, and unfortunately some that don't. Um, Kim never liked Cargo Largo. I actually had heard about Cargo Largo for many years before I moved to Kansas City, because they had the other half of the big contract that the company I worked at had, and so I went and visited. It's a beautiful building, really beautiful building. Good little discount shopping experience. But I like the game element of the auction and the bins. Okay, so Independence. Okay. So we opened up 2 stores this year. We opened up in Omaha, Nebraska, and we opened up in Dalton, Georgia, and both of those stores went incredibly well. We also had a we also had a sorry, just so we had two stores that opened up, and we also saw that, like, in order to make sure that we were getting the right products and the right contracts and to be able to scale up fast enough, we've been working on our distribution to make sure that that's right before we open up another store. Independence is still on our short list. I know that it'll do really, really well. It's such an easy one to tell, because every virtual town hall meeting, I get a lot of people that ask about it, and so we are planning aggressive store openings after we get our new ERP system in. If those of you that know what an ERP system is and know that we're putting in a new one, you understand that the pain is real. It's good. It gets us, more disciplined in what we do, but it's also a real big challenge. So Positively Pickles, that stuff shouldn't end up in there. So yes, we need to not have that in there. So Gina said, So Gina says, I see employees throwing good items away. And this would be, I'm sure, from the bins, that I would gladly pay money for on Thursdays and Fridays. We have heard that from a few different places, and that doesn't work. So we've sent out communications about that. Definitely, I appreciate you posting that, because we definitely need to. Karina seconds that. We really can't do that. Oh, Mitchell sees that too. Holy cow! Which stores are you guys? Do you guys see that at? I would love to help us kind of identify more specifically, so we can do very specific training on that. That doesn't work. Says Fridays seem to help is in so much of a hurry. They keep emptying a bin to overstuff the next bin. It's already crowded and makes it harder. So Bob brings up that in the bins, it's when they're condensing it, and we actually just talked about this in a virtual town hall that I did for the Southeast. The same thing's happening down there. So I think. Donna, let's make a note to talk to our retail store leaders about the condensing down too much, and making it just not shoppable, because I think that's a challenge. Karina, Topeka again. Topeka's on any of the store openings that we've discussed. Are on the roadmap for next year, but we've had to make sure that we have our software system in place before we do that. Let's see, Shanna. I drove to KCK from Iowa. I was told my items were shipped to Wyoming. I don't know what that. We don't have anything in Wyoming, so but yes, I know that for a little while we had we recognized that our most trained distribution center person was out sick, and we ended up having a bunch of shipping mistakes, which we recognized that's a problem. So some really big news in Clay Como. We just tonight, I think it goes live tonight. We have what we call our mega flash auto auction. It's the biggest. This may be the biggest. Well, it's for sure the biggest auto auction, auto parts and accessories auction we've ever done. But it has over $225,000 of retail value in it. It's going to run. It's live now. So definitely, if you're in the Kansas City area, take a look at that. I think it's like over 3,000 lots. Put in your car. Like I drive a Tacoma. I like to go camping with it, and I put Tacoma in, and all sorts of different parts and things pop up for a Tacoma. So it's pretty wild. $225,000 worth of retail value on it. We are increasing the size of the auctions. If you've seen this, you've seen KCK expand. You've seen this expansion. We are expanding a lot. We're also testing. You guys, so we did something that I think has helped in certain ways, but caused problems in others. And we are testing. This is going to start in Clay Como on Monday. But we're going to be doing this with all of the stores in the Midwest, like really quick. And that is that when on the big stuff right now, it's being shipped from the distribution center with locations on it. And the stores try to group them all together with varying degrees of success. And if you shop the retail auctions, then you probably know what I'm talking about. And so what we're doing is we're now shipping those items so the stores can put them in place, put the locations on them, and then they'll tie the location to the lot sticker that's on the package. What that's going to do is make it so every customer can now see in sequential order all the big stuff in the retail auctions. It'll make it much easier to find the big stuff. I am so excited about this. This is something that we recognized the picking experience was not great there, and this is a really easy improvement. Let's see. The expansion, Jennifer brings up a great point. So it doesn't seem like we're increasing, because we used to have over 2,000. Every store has kind of the two auctions. So when we had 2,000 items, that was when the selects and the top rated bargains were together. We broke those two out, and so we typically have a lot more than that. Second is, so our auctions actually have a lot more retail value, and that's actually one of the things that we look at. So some of the select auctions, we're going to be pushing a lot bigger items, like full size, sofas and things like that. So there's or we'll call it the chairs and boxes and love seats that you can assemble in boxes. Those are going. You're going to see a lot more of that. So yes, at Clay Como, we've made a big space. They're going to have a big stuff items there, and call out. Kim calls out to the best Retail Rebel crew. They really that's the closest store to where I work at Liberty. And huge shout out to that crew. Huge shout out to, I just did a road trip and visited everyone, but all the different, many of the different store leaders, and I'm really, really happy with so many of the great teammates that we've got, and I'm truly not just saying that. Like, it's nice to be able to see and see how much they care, get the feedback, just like how customers and friends and family are giving feedback right now. I get that same type of excitement about the business from our customers. So I can tell you, share any challenges that you guys or any improvements that you guys think with our customer service. Share it with the folks at the host stations that when you're working with them, or at the cash registers, that they are like, I know that I hear it, different things that we need to do better. When I went to Claycoma, when the items were getting shipped all over the place, and one of the great hosts there, I love this guy. He's a fellow tech nerd such as me, and he came up and he's like, we have so many not founds and items that we can't find, and you could tell it was so frustrating for him because he cares. And honestly, like that's so important to have, staff that care about the employee, care about the customers, and it's meaningful to me because this is why we do what we do, is to be able to do a good service, have it be of great value to you guys, and so it's nice to share that same passion with our staff. And I think I love it. 18 prizes. So Retail Rebel. Oh, excellent. She posted it in the comments. Again, check out the promo for this weekend. We are. Oh, this is great news. So in Liberty. Many of you know that we have a great big warehouse in Liberty. That's where we do a lot of our distribution to ship out to the various stores. We are, hopefully by end of next week, we're going to open up a Liberty retail auction. So it's going to be on the same website that you check out the retail auctions. You're going to see a Liberty on there, Liberty, Missouri, and we're going to put all like team lift, forklift, type stuff, full size sofas, any large appliances. We're going to put it on retail auction type auctions on that site, and it'll be the same policy. You get a full refund if it doesn't match the condition or description as described, and if you can't fully test it, you get 7 days to bring it home. So if you get an appliance and it's in the package in a crate, you get a full refund if it doesn't work, right? We want it to be a good experience for you. So, but that's going to start hopefully at the end of next week. We're going to pilot it. But I know it's going to do well. I've seen the type of product that we have and that we're going to be putting in it. And we are going to be expanding it to do some other things too that we will share, not on this virtual town hall, but we'll share it at another time. Okay, so Corbin asks, so anyway, super excited about that. And we are going to be sending more furniture out to the stores. Again, I'm so happy about this deal. It's a lot of fun stuff. If you haven't shopped the retail auctions in a little bit, check out the retail auctions tonight. You're going to find a lot of really fun stuff. Oh, this weekend, watch the retail auctions. This weekend is huge. Check the retail auctions this weekend are going to be enormous. There's going to be tons and tons of stuff. It'll likely be the largest dollar amount ever put on a Retail Rebel auctions in a single night. They'll go live Friday night, so you'll have all weekend to check it out. We are pushing tons of product. You're going to see a lot of really kind of great presents, gifts, things that you would want. Home goods, it's going to be amazing. But that's going to be that's going live Friday night, and then obviously the bins with the restocking, we're going to be doing that too. So lots of, we're going to probably push more bin product this weekend than we have in a very, very long time as well. It's just it's kind of like it's kind of jumping into November. So Shiloh says I just want the store part next to the bins to be full. Shiloh, we're definitely no. Let me be accurate on that. I was gonna say we're definitely pushing on that. To be truthful, like we have a team that processes every single day product and we get it out there, but it's not we're not getting enough of that type of product that I want, and we're working on it. And so we are going to we're actively working on some negotiations to get some contracts. Hopefully you'll see a lot more food in the auction or in the outlets over time. We're really pushing for that. So also some clothing deals and other things, but we haven't landed those yet. So I don't want to overpromise, right? But we are working on getting something there for the outlets. I would say that the big wins for us right now is the amount of good, really interesting stuff that's going to retail auctions. And then I would say that the bins are going to be, we've been trying a lot of different programs, and I'm excited to hear what, how the bins especially over the next, let's say 3 weeks. I would love feedback on it, because we see what the sales look like. We see the number of transactions, and that's a pretty good indicator, especially how many sales were on a Saturday. That tells us, did it have a lot of that, as one of my colleagues says, does it have a lot of that juicy stuff in it? And oftentimes, we do not, on most of these loads, we don't sort through anything that goes into the retail auctions or into the bins. They just come in, we stick them on a truck, send them out. And so, we don't always have a great idea of how it's going to do until the Monday when we come back and we see the sales. And so, but I know that we had loads show up late tonight that we're very excited about this program. Purchasing team's done a fantastic job there. And I did see, and I thank you so much. I love this right here. The chat is exactly why I think this, doing these virtual town halls is beneficial. Let's see. Mark asks, is it new or returned items? So we see both. We get a lot of, we specialize really, Mark, in returns. And as you know, with returns, oftentimes I would say that with returns, well, this program, we sort out anything that is used. We'll get scratch or dent as well with this program. But most of the time the returns are new. Just buyer's remorse, didn't fit right, didn't, whatever the reason. Ordered the wrong item, ordered two of an item, whatever the reason is. And that's what our business model is based on. So if it's still has value, we put it in our retail auctions, our bins. If it doesn't have value, you try to throw it away. Let's see. Kim writes, I live near Liberty Warehouse. It got boring. So good to hear there's a plan. So it is 100,000 square feet of great big space. Now, I would say that the Liberty Warehouse auction is a really fun date night experience. It really is. I mean, there's 100,000 square feet of you never know what you're going to find. It got, I would say a few months ago, it got really kind of light. There wasn't a lot of really great stuff. I would say the last handful of weeks, we've had a lot more kind of interesting stuff out there. Oh, today's Thursday. Today is a really good one. So if you haven't been to it, it's probably it's going to be ending here pretty soon. But it's a good one today. But yes, we are. I'm excited about what we're doing with this furniture contract. It's a big deal, and I think you're going to see a lot of really interesting big home goods, things that you're going to save literally hundreds or if not thousands of dollars on it. And so it's a lot of fun. I'm excited about it. So Brad writes, please, for the love of all those, for all that is hundreds of items for each auction, let us filter by condition. So there are filters. There are not filters by condition. Okay, so here's where we are at with that. I think that there's a lot of requests on different types of filters and sorts and stuff like that. I can tell you, so we don't write our own software on auction. Now we've considered it. We've really considered it, and so that feature I don't think is available, and so I don't think I really can't promise that we'll do that. But we certainly can do, obviously by category. You can do searches. You can search by highest bid. Like if you play around with it, and I know many of you actually probably know it better than I do. There are different things that you can do, but this is also why we do the auctions at a store level at each of the stores, is so we can get more product out 3 times a week, with the flash auctions 6 times a week, 6 days a week. So Karina is asking, we're getting new rewards program and hope it includes our auctions as well. I don't know. The auctions is kind of a fine line, and let me tell you why. I mean, if you think about it, we're selling items on average 70 to 80% off of retail. We have to be really efficient at what we do in order to be profitable and do that. And so more like any sort of financial discount is probably going to be pretty difficult to do on that. But we definitely want to, bring rewards, for sharing and bringing people in. This business would not work without word of mouth, and word of mouth has been absolutely huge. And so we certainly support that. That's one of the things that we would love to. Let's see. Man, there's so many comments. Missy said, I love the 33-gallon bag last week. Maybe bring back after 3 p.m. on Fridays. Okay. I don't know how I missed the 33-gallon bag. Up from, I think our we usually use a t-shirt bag, which is probably 4 gallons. That's 9 times. I can tell you that 33-gallon bag, truth be told, cost us a lot of money. That was, we didn't realize how detrimental that would be to our profitability that day. That was, I can't say that we're going to do that very often. I do like, the idea of doing it after a certain time on Friday, that's reasonable. But opening the doors Friday to a 33-gallon bag, holy cow, that was wild. So probably, truthfully, not going to happen again on opening day on Friday. But happy Halloween. At least do Friday bag for the 960 permanently. How about Target bags? We definitely need to look at. I think we get a lot of suggestions around the bags. places like all the Missouris and leave out the Georgia. Oh, yes. So Joshua says, can you set up the online auctions to where you can filter through so many places like all the Missouris and leave out the Georgia? It probably wouldn't be bad to do a. I wonder if you can. I don't know if. Yeah, I think we're going to have to see what kind of functionality we can get, because we do get a lot of people that want to shop, a number of stores at once. But as far as I know, I think right now it's just, one at a time. And I know that that's exactly the problem that you're running into. I'm gonna take that as a task to look and see if there's ways at least where we could get isolate just a few stores at once. I don't know of a way right now, but I think that that's especially as we add more stores. Dalton is a great example. Dalton is nowhere near where anyone's from Retail Rebel living in Kansas City is going to drive to go pick up an auction winning. So how do folks kind of how do folks share that? Deanna, I love that. Deanna says, I'm an Uber driver and I share the store with people I like. 95% of the people. That's awesome. Just a shout out to Helpful Auction Crew in Council Bluffs. Mike, TJ, Lisa are all great. Yes, that's a great crew up there. And that Council Bluffs is a great store. I really enjoy it. I wish we had an easier way to expand the auction. That is going to take a little bit of work, I think, to expand that. But Omaha's a great auction up there. It's a great one as well. Do it by mileage like EquipBid. EquipBid does that, and Nellis does that. There's a few big auction houses, and I think that's also where we may need to look at writing our own auction software at some point. I appreciate the heck out of you guys. Thanks for reading my comment. This place is awesome. This place is awesome, we'll say. Thank you, Josh. I appreciate that. What is in the comments, and I'm going to keep going through this. So continue to post. I know if I've missed, I know I wax long, and so I'll miss some of the comments, and don't hesitate to just post it a second time if I've missed it. But Krista asks, what's going on with the Rebel Bucks? So we are changing. We're changing a number of our software systems that are just. I mean, Android app is a great example of our old tech is starting to not work, and so we're moving to. As many of you that want to know, we're moving to Shopify for our point of sale system. And our customer experience team has been very actively looking at a new rewards program that will replace Rebel Bucks. So we are expiring Rebel Bucks or sunsetting it. So if you have any Rebel Bucks on there, please use it. I don't know if we've fully sunsetted it yet. I know we've had discussions on it and it's coming up. So please do use your Rebel Bucks, but we are going to introduce a new loyalty program. So we'll keep you posted on that. I'm sure we'll have the details that we'll talk about in a Facebook Live as well, virtual town hall. Let's see. One food bin issue. Once in a while, you get a smeller. Those really should be pulled off the floor and remove offending items. Had a mouse bite me once. Ugh. Yeah, that's rough. And that's so we haven't had as much food as I would like. And let me tell you, Bob, specifically because I think you said Council Bluffs. I know at one point Council Bluffs had so much inventory in their back rooms. And when I first came over, it was a year and a half ago, My first time up there, I was looking at food pallets that had been there for like 4 weeks, 5 weeks, and you can't do that in this business. You can't, and so they've done an incredible job of really staying on top of it and getting product out as soon as they do, and so they've made some huge strides there. But yeah, stuff has to turn. I mean, that's our business. Which stores are offering shipping? Oh man. So we. So one other news bit. We survey, and again, I haven't even gone through the survey results, but the short of it is, on a scale of 1 to 10, our average is an 8.07, 08. 8.08 over 1,000 results, and we are getting a lot of really positive feedback. I think people have called out that they love the host stage, the host app that was introduced. That's speeding up the checkout times a lot. There still is obviously frustration about trash in the bins, and we're working on some training around that. Obviously, the crowding, like the consolidation's too aggressive right now. I think that there's a lot that needs to be done there. Let's see. Marty, I did talk about that one. And I think it was the Townhall. I've been the only person on the town halls, although my CIO has commented. But yes, we're definitely trying out a number of different programs for those for the bins. And so again, next 3-4 weeks, I would love to get your feedback on it, because we're pushing some really. We're going on a stretch and put in some pretty high value stuff in, and it costs a little bit more, but the goal is that Saturdays and Sundays become a real big event. So it's a gamble, but I feel like, I mean, we have hundreds of customers shopping our bins. I mean, anytime you go to the bin store at Retail Rebel, there's almost 100 people in there anytime during the day. Any of this Retail Rebel stores, it's one of the most amazing things I've ever seen. It's a huge blessing. A lot of businesses are struggling getting 10 customers in the door, and so I definitely don't take that for granted. But our goal is to make sure that every single customer walks home with a great deal. And so we are pushing lots of different programs in there. We're testing it. We're looking at the numbers. We're making sure. And so, but with that many customers, I feel like we have in the past put some really expensive loads out there, and didn't work. So in my mind, probably the wrong expensive deal. So we're gonna keep trying. Let's see. KCK needs serious parking lot help. Yes, it does. I'm working with the landlord on that one. And KCK and Clay Como, I'm about to go stripe those lines myself. I don't know what is going on, but KCK, I know that they were doing they had a big pipe burst or something. So we are definitely pushing for them to help with that. So Corbin said, which stores offer more shipping? That we have not given up on it. We're not going to push it out this year, but the ship to my store, I think that program can work, but we need to get ready for it and roll it out in a way that works for everyone. So working on that one. David just mentioned Rebel Bucks. We are going to be retiring the Rebel Bucks, but we are introducing another a loyalty program to replace it that's going to work better with our Shopify system. So we're installing a new point of sale system that is going to have itemized receipts on it. So you guys will have receipts. So that's great. But that's coming up over the next 30, 60 days. I don't know if we have a set time on it, but it is coming up. So if you have Rebel Bucks, use your Rebel Bucks. Can we address the continuing yelling? Stores closing, get in line now. I don't like that. We need to get an old-fashioned PA system in where we can just, gently talk into a phone that, amplifies overhead. I know that we get, we need to work on that. So Cambria, I do hear you. Belton store shelves are empty. Yes, I saw that. I was there 2 weeks ago and saw that. We have to push more product out to those shelves. It's the outlets, and again, Karina, Leslie, I'm working on we're working on getting a food deal. I think we're near the finish line, and that would be, it would be truckloads a week that we can push out to these stores. Because I think food is one of the, to me, I think customers love that. Health and beauty is a big one, but yes, we're hopefully going to be finishing, getting to the finish line on that one here pretty soon. I don't want to overpromise, but soon. Carts are in the way. So Jennifer says, I desperately want a hand basket for the bins. I don't. I know that in the Southeast we used to use bags, cloth bags. Let me look at introducing that. I think that's a good one. Let's put that. Donna, please put that down as something that we want to explore. Getting a handful of hand bags to shop the bins with. So Krista asks, do you know about a store coming to Independence? So we're not going to open up any stores during the holidays because lots of stuff going on. But Independence is absolutely going to be our own. Or one of our next ones that we're going to open up. Yes, so Karina, just to be clear, the restock is going to be for this weekend. We are going to monitor it and see. It's a big deal, and if it works out really, really well, it's definitely something that we want to do. I just got an update. So on the Rebel Bucks, we did sunset the Rebel Bucks in the bins already because those have been changed out to the Shopify point of sale. You can use the Rebel Bucks in the outlets until the end of the year. So if you're buying outlet, that's where you'll be able to use the Rebel Bucks. I love your name. I don't know how to pronounce it. Sacia. It says, yes, yelling at Omaha location has been annoying and disrespectful. I hate it. Like I've been in the stores where they yell. I really want to look at not a yelling solution. So yeah. Stefanos says, or small carts like Hy-Vee has. Yeah, so we have. We got a billion of these like great big carts that are just too big, and so they're great. The big carts are great for retail auction because we're getting a lot of larger items that are being picked up there. But yeah, we really need we really need a smaller basket or a smaller cart. What yelling? Yeah, hopefully we're not. Well, Mark, I think by adding 3 question marks on the end, that's yelling. At least you didn't use all caps. Let's see. Council Bluffs is perfect. Don't touch it. Omaha needs to learn from Council Bluffs crew seriously. So we actually are working on hiring a new store manager for Omaha. I believe we extended an offer today. So hopefully we're very excited about. I don't know if this person has accepted yet, but we're very excited about that. Jake has done. If you know Jake, the store manager up there at Council Bluffs, he's been managing both. Incredible. Just honestly, I don't think we could do it without him. He's just been absolutely incredible up there. Let's see, probably CIO. Let's see. Please fix the issue with printing out multiple invoices. It keeps printing one already picked up. Oh, interesting. Karina. Yeah, well, I'm not sure. I don't know about that one. Let me ask our CIO about that and see. Karina says, please fix the issue with printing out multiple invoices. It keeps printing ones already picked up. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that. I don't know what that one is, but we'll definitely forward that over to the CIO and see if he's aware. And feel free to send an email, customer service. If you could post in here what the email address is for submitting like a help ticket, that would be great. And then if you can just submit like kind of what you're seeing. Omaha stuff is very mean and helping people. Yeah, I don't like that. I will say every week we're working really close with store leadership on training, and we've actually kind of restructured how we do our retail auctions or our retail training. And so I think stores have a lot more support than they used to have. And so I'm excited about it. I'm hopefully, you'll see a lot of, I've had a chance to meet with each of the store managers, and I can tell you that it's been, you should undercover boss. I should undercover boss it, except I do too many of these virtual town halls, and so some of them know. But yes, hello@retailrebel.com. Please, anytime like you guys want feedback, we do read all of those. They do a great job. Customer service does a great job of forwarding those over to me, so I have a chance to see them. And Lisa in the auction area at Council Bluffs is awesome. All the workers are. Love to hear that. What happened to all those $600 gazebos we built? There was definitely not go and tied up lots of money in personal accounts. Carol, I don't know what that is, but if you can send that to hello@retailrebel.com. I'd love to have us take a look at that. So there you go, Stephen. You want a secret shopper to travel around and grade the stores, employees, and overall experience. We are introducing kind of a store auditing list of things that we want to look out for, and so that's definitely one of those things that I'm hoping that when you go to a Retail Rebel, whether it's up in Olathe or up in Council Bluffs or down in or over in Dalton, Georgia, that it'll feel familiar. One company that does that so well is Chick-fil-A. Like, shout out to Chick-fil-A. Their training is so good, and I think that it doesn't matter which Chick-fil-A I ever go to, they are all just amazingly well trained and consistent, and so I would love that level of kind of training and customer service. And I do think that many of our store leadership and many of our associates and hosts I see that, and I can tell you they genuinely care. And so it's a good start. But I think as a company we can always do better on how we train and build up our teams. We're at the top of the next hour, and so I want to thank everyone. Lots of great things going on, and we again, please feel free to post more comments in here. I do like to go through after and just respond to anything that I might have missed. But your feedback is so critical and so important. And again, I can promise you, I mean, my wife can testify, I will be going through, we literally have over 1,000 feedbacks. And I like to go through and just get a good idea of what we should really be focusing on. So I really appreciate it. I hope you guys have a great holiday season, spend a lot of time with family, and I hope that we're able to really help you guys save some money. Help your holidays and your Christmas and your gift giving just go a little bit further. So please, I've made a lot of promises and announcements on here. Keep me honest. Give me feedback. Let me know how it goes over the next few weeks. Some big things I'm really excited about. So we will see you next time.